Hi, folks. Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in sunny Southern California. It's midday here. That gentleman there is.
Hi everyone, I'm Felipe Derrida. I'm in Essex, England, in stormy weather.
Oh, it's stormy. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's hope we don't have internet problems today.
I'm in a village. If I might cut out at any moment.
Oh, God, no, don't do that. Don't do that because, yeah, stop it, stop it. I already, you know what? I have more problems with with Alex, who's like maybe 40 minutes from my house with his internet access and his Mac than I have with yours. So yeah, go figure. Um,
Skills.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special sipping off the cuff because we are going to taste and dissect this little beauty right here. If you can see that clearly, this is Black Snake Asp Reposado. Now you're saying to yourself, who the hell is Black Snake and why should I care? Because this is an Australian agave spirit. And I first learned about these folks as I was researching my book and article on in more than agave spirits. It's agave spirits around the world. It's more than tequila. And I wrote about this Black Snake Distillery, and they are in Australia. However, this version of what they're making is mezcal with an Australian accent. So it's not being made technically as a tequila. Of course, you can't even call it that. All of this is just agave spirits, but they're using the mezcal protocol to make this. Okay, they are based in the information I have is Narrabee in New South Wales, and Stephen Beale and Rosemary Smith are the husband and wife, and they are the folks who have developed ASP agave spirits in 2016. So I want to first of all thank Rosemary for making this happen because they have moved heaven and earth to get this to us.
Yeah, much respect for that.
You folks have no idea what they've been through. Never mind the fact that she was very nervous about submitting a sample to us because we are who we are. As you can see, it's a small sample. This is all we could get. I'm okay with that. They're very, very small batch. For those of you who in Australia or in Europe who have been to their distillery, they do tours on occasion. You may have already had some of this. Folks all over Australia are falling all over themselves in bars and restaurants getting this, and we're very fortunate to get these samples. I so appreciate that. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to break the seal, taste the juice, then we'll give you all the ins and outs and tell you what where this is coming from. So we're breaking the seal now, live on television, streaming on YouTube.
You are a part of history.
It is historical. We are the first to actually that I know of in the United States to be able to acquire a sample of ASP Black Snake Distillery. So Felipe, are you using your Glencairn?
I sure is.
I am using my Stotzel Jarrito that I normally use for mezcal, and the reason is this particular sample. Oh, look at that! I have bubbles. I have lingering bubbles, bro. That's a good sign. Hey, the reason I'm using my Jarrito for mezcal is because this is at 88 proof. It's 44 ABV. So we're gonna smell the stuff. First of all, it's a beautiful color. I will say, it's pretty.
It's a beautiful gold, isn't it?
Yep. It's almost like a it's just a hair under tan almost. In fact, Felipe, you and I have had some añejos that look this color, haven't we?
We have actually, yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at the legs and tears on that baby. And I have a bubble that will not die. That is very unique. Again, not a sign of quality, but it's a good sign that care has been taken in in the making of this juice. Nice, thick legs and tears just clinging to the glass, taking their own sweet time.
I don't think you're going to like the smell.
Oh,
That's
oh,
beautiful, isn't it?
oh, dude, this is cigar worthy. You know those placencias that you have posted on Instagram? Yeah, right here. You could
Check
just,
my Instagram in about an hour.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, follow Felipe on his Instagram. It's Felipe de Herida, and he posts a lot of cigar pairings with a lot of these agave spirits that he and I get a chance to taste on. You know, this is a lot sweeter on the nose than I was expecting.
It's very one of the first things that sprung to mind was almost like a tutti frutti,
Yeah,
very sweet fruit.
but now it's opening up, and now I'm getting more of the agave. I'm getting it's more earthy for me, and more vegetal.
There's almost like a peppermint
Yeah,
coming at the top, but
I'll buy that. I'll buy the herbaceousness, and I think that's coming from the barrel. Did she tell you what barrels they're using for this?
I have on my lovely thank you card. She said,
I got a birthday card. Thank you.
"Happy birthday" as well. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
American oak ex bourbon. Yeah, first use, or
First
50-liter ex bourbon barrel. Yeah.
Yeah, well, bourbon, for those of you unaware, bourbon legally, bourbon and Tennessee whiskey, you can only use those barrels one time, and then the secondary market after that. And so these are only been used once, so they haven't been reused by anybody else, which is nice, which accounts for the color.
And we have 12 months in glass before moving to the barrel for 4 months in the barrel.
So they're resting it in glass. They're not burying it. I know that some mezcals actually bury underground. They and can technically, at least in Mexico, call that an aged spirit. So they're resting it in glass. That means it's not being moved anywhere. And then so it's 8 months in glass, and then 4 months. This is only a 4 month reposado.
12 in glass, and then 4 months in the
Wow,
barrel.
wow. Look at the body on this on the, and I hope you can see that uh, on my screen. But the body on it's really beautiful.
And also, because I was talking to Rosemary on Instagram, she said that they leave the crushed agave for over 10 days before putting it into the fermenters. If that's
Yeah, you know
either
they
standard or anything.
well, they have a particular challenges that they have overcome. If you know anything about them, do some research on them, and of course, if you have not taken a gander of downloading this book, anybody that's got Kindle can get these books. We occasionally make our books for free for our Kindle readers, but this is also available on Amazon. And you can read about all the agave spirits. We've had a few. We've actually been very fortunate since I started this whole trek through agave spirits around the world. We've been very fortunate to get from Ecuador, from Peru. This is our first one from Australia. I've been able to get, I'm still hoping against hope to get something out of South Africa. There's more coming out of Australia. The Black Snake is extremely small batch, but there is a company out there, and I mentioned them in the article in the section on Australian agave spirits, that is in the next 5 years they are going to have a huge industry. They have several hectares of blue agave growing right now. So look for them to break into the Australian agave spirits market very shortly. I love how this smells. Do you get that vegetal smell in the center?
Yeah, there is, and there's this proper ripened fruit coming through it.
I will say, you know what? For 88 proof, I got no alcohol.
No,
No.
actually.
Yeah. And it's traveled across the pond, well, further across the pond for us. I'm ready to dive in. This is just
Shall we?
Shall. Cheers. Oh my gosh.
That has a bite, doesn't it? It's not too smoky.
No.
It's not overpowering, but I almost got a tear in my eye then from just the initial hit out.
Yes.
And then it just
What? No, the finish is
just fell off like your wife's negligee.
Yeah, yeah. The finish. I can smell. I can taste a little bit of smoke, but it's not off-putting. It's actually very, very faint. And that was my first pass. So so my first pass is going to be a little bit different than my second and third.
Quite dry on the palate.
Yes. Yeah. Well, bourbon. You know, and I gotta say, at the sides of my tongue and my palate back here, it was a little bit sweet. It was sweeter than and again, that's got to be from the barrel itself, and of course a little bit of the plant probably. I'm not sure right now if I'm tasting smoke or if I'm tasting agave. It's faint, and it's coated my palate, my tongue. That's okay. That's all right. I mean, it's not in an artificial way. They're not doing anything to it.
No. You know what it can remind me of? Do you ever have the candy that would bubble on your tongue?
Yeah.
Popping candy.
Yeah, poppy.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of texture to it, but it's so smooth. And that hint of the smoke. There's definitely a sweetness, but it's just, and it's almost like considering this flavor of smoke in it. It's almost like fresh air. You've had it. It's just like, oh, it's just really.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure. What do we know? Let's pull out the information just very quickly so we get an idea of. I'm not exactly sure what kind of smoke, what kind of wood they're using. I know that I will check in my information in the research that I've done. There it is, holding over 12 months before it gets in the barrel and aged for 4 months. 44 ABV. And let me check and see what I wrote about them. I can't remember because it was just, I had to do this it was a monthly article for Tequila Aficionado, and then halfway through the research, Lisa, our managing partner, Lisa Peach, says, we're going to put this together as a coffee table book. And I said, oh, okay. So, and as I got, this is one of those pieces, it's happened to me before where, like, I wrote a book on kosher tequila, and when you reverse engineer the research, you think it's only going to be like a 500 word article. It turns into this monster, this 3-part, 1,200 word per, and you realize that it's nothing. In order to do this justice, you have to go really deep into the background. I guess one of their daughters returned from a trip to Mexico commented on how the plants growing all over their property were similar to the agave grown in Mexico. She had come back from a trip in Mexico, and the weather was very similar. So upon investigation, Beal and Smith discovered that the type of agave that had overrun their property was the same one used to make mezcal. It's Agave Americana. It is one of the plants allowed to make mezcal, probably more akin. I think Agave Americana, not so much mezcal as Ricea, because right, you can make Ricea from like 3 or 4 or 5 different plants. But so this is Agave Americana, not blue agave, that's growing in Australia on their property. Oh, they're using eucalyptus wood. I knew that was something different. That explains the mint.
Yes. As soon as you said, because I'm smelling it going, there's something in here and I can't quite place my finger on it. I'm just trying to think what it was. As soon as you said that, ping.
Oh, the light went on. You see, the thing is,
Yes.
the thing with eucalyptus grows, it's all over Southern California. We have it as windbreak. For those of you who live south on the 10 freeway, you understand what I'm talking about when you get to like Fontana all the way to Rio Rancho, Rancho Cucamonga, I'm sorry. So eucalyptus trees are grown in that area, but they don't grow in Mexico as far as I know. They're not, unless further north in like the jungle area maybe. Because you and I had a rum that was made from fresh cane, and it was almost like tasting the jungle, la selva.
Yeah.
This one is a lot drier, and the eucalyptus makes a lot of sense to me because it's a wood and a smoke that's completely different from any Ricea or Mezcal or Bacanora that we've had, and you and I have had a few already. So that is
it. That's what separates it. I mean, obviously there's several other bits as well, but that's it. Because I'm literally looking through there, and I just said it. I'm sniffing. There's something there, and I can't quite place my finger on it.
Said it was minty, and I thought, well, I'll go with herbaceous. Yeah, you're gonna get that. Agave Americana, the herbaceousness, and of course it's baked using eucalyptus wood.
Yeah.
I like this a lot, man. It's worth making a trip to Australia just to bring back a few bottles of this.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Actually, probably once you have the realization, suddenly
It all makes sense.
it's like a game of Tetris, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh. And you know what else too? Let me I gotta pour me another sample. I can't. I'm so Black Snake Distillery. You rock. Anybody who is planning a trip to Australia, once of course, when things settle down, because we are having another spike in the in coronavirus. So be careful out there, folks. Get your shot. Wear a mask. But I think Australia could be down in lockdown again. I'm not sure at this point. But when you make the trip, it's worth looking for these folks and getting yourself, wipe them out clean, bring back the farm. Because this, look at this. I have a lone bubble. I don't even know if you can see that on my screen. I have a lone bubble that will not die. And that's unheard of, even with some really well-made mezcals and sotols. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
I'm impressed.
It's so unique.
A little bit more on that.
Yeah, this is so unique, folks. And it's like some mezcals. Look at that. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Even there are some mezcals that once they're aged, once they're reposed, the bubbles don't linger as long as it does in a whole, which is unaged. My goodness.
I could smell. I could use this as an air freshener. Just put it.
It's cologne. Put it on your pulse points, folks. This is. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to hesitate. I'm not even going to stop. Brand of Promise nominee,
hands down.
The Australian Agave Spirit category. This is lovely. And you know what? It's not off-putting at 88 proof. Men and women alike will enjoy this. I really do feel that It's not. There's virtually no alcohol burn. I'm not getting any of that.
No.
It's
I can feel it. I can feel it coming down a bit, but you get that with beer. You get that with
yeah.
water. There's nothing untoward.
On the first pass, it's a medium to long finish, but as you go in second and third pass sips, the finish is less and less prominent, but the flavor profile on right on your tongue and the palate, it's doing what it's supposed to do. That's what smoke is supposed to do. It's supposed to coat the palate naturally, and it's just so minimal.
That is by far. I think they've excelled themselves with this.
Yeah,
that's definitely one of the best I've had.
Yep, I agree. I think if it entered any international contests, I know that there are countrywide contests for medals in Australia, but I'm thinking this would be good enough to go international. I don't even know, have they won anything internationally? I think they might have, haven't they?
Do you know, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Have a quick look while we're here.
Oh my God.
Well, they do gin as well.
Of course. You can't be Australian if you don't do gin.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? I'm still feeling it. That's nice.
Oh my God, that is just lovely.
Do you know, I'd have that. I'll have it in about an hour's time in the garden with a smoke. But at the end of a meal, if you have a nice, big, steak, something, and a cup of coffee, sir. No, I'll have one of these.
Yeah, it's a great digestif, and it's not. I personally wouldn't pair it with a dessert. I wouldn't do that. But certainly, if you wanted to pair it with food, a good meal, a good steak, and of course a great cigar. But I have to tell you, having this year alone, we've had, and late last year, we've had some wonderful agave spirits from all over the world. I tell you what, that's what was the inspiration for our book, and for making people aware that agave grows all over the world, and people have had, there are cultures with a history, thousands of years of making stuff from this plant. It's not just Mexico. And to see something coming out of Australia that is paying homage to mezcal, and doing it this well.
They've done fantastic at that.
I got lip numbness. I have all the signs are there. Lip numbness. I got a nice smoke-covered palate, nothing off-putting, medium to long finish. Wow, and just refreshing. And I will say, this to me reminds me a lot of our Andean agave spirit that we received from Peru. I will put it up there. And those folks have won international awards, and they've also entered, I think, the same. They've got a lot of the importer, and they've gotten a lot of. They're in the United States now. When we had them, they were not available in the U.S. Now they're available. Go find them if you want just an inkling of what it is that we're having from Australia.
I can't. It's hard. I can just smell it. Now you mentioned the eucalyptus. All I'm thinking of. It's just because it's so unusual to have that smell. It's exclusive to itself, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
For a spirit,
it's exclusive to itself. Nobody else is doing this, and especially we've had agave americana in several different formats. Whether it's a mezcal, you've had it in a raicilla, whatever. But this is really truly mezcal with an Australian accent. I mean, it's perfect. Yeah. Wow. It's just
they couldn't make it any more Aussie.
yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It's brilliant, hands down, brilliant. And even the I love that you're getting barrel notes and you're getting the vegetal notes from the agave. The first thing that hits you when you open up this, when you unseal it, is of course the wood notes. And then the plant and it opens up beautifully, like right away. Lately we've had some agave spirits and we've had some mezcals that we've had to really wait to open up, and some tequilas, for instance, to do that too. This one just bloomed just beautifully.
Well done. That is
Oh,
bloody marvelous.
oh, we have gone 25 minutes, folks. I know, but you know what? This may be our only chance for a long time until Felipe and I get to Australia. But these are the folks. Black Snake Distillery. That Asp Reposado, they sell out of this baby quickly. Narabi, Australia, Stephen and Rosemary, thank you so much for making this happen. Look at that. I'm shaking my bottle. Now there's room enough for bubbles. Look at that. That's fantastic. And you know what?
I'm gonna ask if she's got any jobs going so we can move out there.
You know what?
Half Aussie anyway, so
they'll make you their company himador. And then I bet you can find a job at a jazz at a jazz club somewhere, right? Because agave won't pay the bills, not right away. If I gotta tell you, if they ever increase their facility for making more, they would do the world a service. Get yourself one of these, because, like I say, in 4 or 5 years' time, Australia will have an agave spirit industry. There's no telling what they're going to do with it. If they're going to use diffusers, if they're going to do it the old-fashioned way, if they're going to try everything under the sun. We don't know yet, okay? Because the plants are just growing outside their facility. But in the meantime, get yourself some of this so that you have a bar to measure them from. Because this is truly beautiful. I can't say anything else. I just
send us more.
Yeah, please. Can you get us a bottle, a full 700? I'll sell for 700 because those are legal in the States. I might even, we might even know some importers. Like, even if they just get it to the UK. Can you imagine what this would do in the UK?
I'm thinking about it.
Hey, I know. I can hear the wheels turning in Felipe's head. Because
in a square.
in a square, not a circle. Because he thinks outside the box. Thank you, folks, for Black Snake Distillery. This is Asp Reposado.
Fantastic.
Go get yourself some. Fantastic. Look them up on Instagram. Tell them you saw our review on Tequila Aficionado on our YouTube channel. Give them a like. Follow them. They're wonderful people. They're sincerely small batch, just doing what
beautiful.
It's and you know what? Thank you to you folks for keeping, for watching us. I know we're gone 30 minutes into this, but it's so beautiful. I got to tell you, this may be the only time that we will get a chance to have this, but it may not be your only time. If you're planning a trip to Australia, go find these people, get out there, take a Jeep, take a boat, take a crocodile, whatever it is that you're going to take to get there, and bring back a couple of bottles, because you're not going to be sorry, okay? It's delightful. It's different. It really is brand worthy of agave spirits around the world. And in the meantime, hey, don't forget getting our book, okay? Get the book on Amazon. It's available now, and they're featured in the book. They'll give you the whole story about how they got started. What a wonderful thing. What a great birthday present. I love it. I'm happy with it. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Felipe in Essex, England.
You have been watching and listening to a very special edition of Sipping Off the Cuff, but with Black Snake Distillery, the Asp Reposado. Again, subscribe if you haven't done that already. Hit the notification bell. Give this video a like because it helps us with the algorithm. Follow Felipe on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.